All right, everybody. Welcome to Gypsy Road, journeying into the unknown. This is our usually our unscheduled day, but since Tuesday we didn't really get a chance to answer any kind of Q&A questions or anything like that. I was not shocked, but we actually had more people in the chat watching versus the other times. And sometimes it's when you get more people. Sometimes it's hard to follow everybody's questions. It's a little harder. Usually the time that you and I do it at 11 a.m. my time, it's not prime time where you get live views versus people watching your video later. Yeah, because most people watch live during the evenings.
We're getting glitchy over here, but you're okay.
But because, you live in Manchester, I don't want to do that at night where it's 4 o'clock in the morning for you.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough. Yeah, that's a good time. I think it's a good time.
So one, just a basic, Q&A question. Somebody did ask, hey, Patrick, what's going on? Somebody did ask, what time do our shows kind of start? So because some people are confused. So I'll just let it, who's ever watching is watching it later. Tuesday is the guarantee time.
Yeah.
Tuesday, that's always guaranteed. That's always a set time. And that's usually the time where I try to get a guest or so, because Tuesday is the time we try to make free time for it. Yeah. Thursday and Friday is more of if for free. Because you might be doing something that day. I might be doing something that day. So Thursday and Friday is always, but when we decide to do one on a Thursday or Friday show, we at least put a thumbnail the night before.
Yeah, I try to
give people a little, hey, we are going to do one, but it's not usually our guaranteed set time. Yeah. Maybe in the future we will, but Tuesday is our sure time. So I just wanted to answer, that one QA question, which is a fair question.
Yeah, I get a lot of people.
Well, you saw the difference, right? We had 19 people on Tuesday. Right now, you only got 5. It's not our normal set time.
It's just Patrick, so we can swear and say bad things.
just Patrick. Oh, somebody left our show. What the hell's with that loser who left our show? Man, what's up with that? But
I don't even know how to do it. I don't have a number. My shit's been so stepped on. I don't even have a number. I don't know people on my own shows. I've literally had, it's the same shit since I've started. It'll say 2 people watching, and I'll have 7 in the sidebar. It makes no fucking sense to me at all. I just talk to whatever's out there. I don't care. I know who's watching is supposed to be watching. That's about it. Intelligence is watching. That's all that matters. Is military intelligence. Don't mind me, I have a dog in the background. This place is haunted right now.
Hey, maybe it's God talking to you.
No, it's not God. It's a fucking ghost. I got tapped on my shoulder. One of the people staying here come up to me. They said I was working on a project because I was working on my military laptop. And they said, hey, man, I thought something weird happened to me today. And I go, what? I was wanting to hear something weird. Always something weird. I got tapped on the shoulder. I said on the right shoulder. I got double tap, tap, tap. I turned around. There was nobody there. I thought it was me. But I was like over on the couch fucking snoring up a storm, sleeping. They thought I had snuck up, did a tap, like for a joke, and then laid back down. I go, no, man, I didn't do that. I can fucking tap you on it. I do those jokes if I'm walking around, but I got to jump back down. Besides, I can't jump on the bed. You'd see me fucking jump on the couch area. I jump on no way. It's a fold-out bed kind of a thing. And I'm like, no, I can jump back and forth. But anyway, so I'm working later on that day. It was funny because I'm working on the computer, and someone did a tap on my fucking right shoulder. A tap, and I go, I thought it was one of those nerves. You know when you get a nerve that kind of like beeps, like it makes like a, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. I thought it was one of those. I just never had one on my right backside. I've never had it on my here. I was like, it's got to be one of them bumpy nerves. Like, what the fuck? I just did it twice and stopped. So I go, wait a minute. So you got tapped? You got double tapped? Well, I got double tapped too on the fucking shoulder. So after that, I went over to the back door of this place. I let all the cats out. Let the cats out. Let the cats go everywhere. This fucking old ass house. Let the cats go everywhere. Everyone out of the way. Let the cats do their job. So I got cats out
Yeah,
everywhere.
I hate that nerve damage right there. I got that damage from playing basketball in high school when I flew up in the air and hit the hard ground right on the shoulder. But
Yeah, but
hey,
it's not nerve damage. It's a damn ghost. It's a ghost.
well,
it's a ghost.
I'm going to start, with some QA questions from different places, from emails and stuff. Like, I guess some of my shows, I guess on the description, I wrote Skywood email address on there. And so I was actually getting some emails. Well, so I want to read this email. I'm proud of this email.
Yes, I want to read. I want to hear.
You probably Patrick and everybody's going to be like, why are you proud of this email? I'm going to explain it to everybody.
I had horrible ones. So,
well, it says, you and your co-host, who I believe is your brother, you are correct. He is.
You know
should leave the country. Well, technically, you did leave the country, so he's right. One person did leave the country because your show is nothing but fart jokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now hold on.
Get on, fart jokes.
I'm gonna tell you something.
100% fart jokes. I'm
gonna tell you something. I want everybody to listen. Patrick, I want you to listen. Who's ever the 4 or 5 people, I want you guys to all listen. Why I love that email about the fart jokes. Okay.
Fart dick joke, man. Fuck you.
Hey, when I received that email, I was dancing, baby. Dancing.
I'm gonna do the Cabbage Patch.
Dancing.
Doing the Cabbage Patch.
Okay.
Remember what that is?
I'll tell you why I like the fart jokes. I'll tell you why. Okay. Now, I've said it before in the past. Living life is hard. I said that in the past. Okay.
Yes.
We have all struggled in some way in life.
Yes.
Some people struggle with Mandela effect, waking up in the Mandela effect world. Some people struggle being gay in this world. Some people struggle being trans in this world. And we know about trans because we had a brother who transferred to a sister, and she had issues, and she was trying to find a community, and it took her life. There's people all different kind of tragedies in life, even religion, Scientology. There's something that everybody struggles. Yeah. Everybody had a struggle somewhat in life. And when you're struggling, one of the biggest things you struggle, you don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. When you're struggling, when in 2016, and you talked about this before, you talked about you struggling with the Mandela effect and affected your workplace, and you even they didn't take you back on your job, so everybody struggled.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, the question always is when you're struggling is what do you try to do? You try to learn why you're struggling. Are there other people like you? Yeah. Are there other communities, gay communities, trans communities, Mandela effect communities, whatever communities? You try to look for a community that'll accept you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when you find the communities and you start talking to people and you try to find where it helps you out. And, some of the communities you're involved with, some of the shows, the Digital Intel shows, the Patrick, your show. And one thing you see and learn is people are nice to each other. You can talk to each other. You feel more free. You actually feel more awakened because you found people just like you.
Yeah.
And what happens is when you find people that are more just like you, you start to joke around. You feel like your buddies, your friends, you're watching a football game. And you're telling what? You're telling fart jokes.
Yeah,
so
I bust
people say fart jokes. I love it.
Don't like you. Exactly. Yeah.
It's fart jokes. We love it because there's different kind of shows. And you and I talked about this before. There's shows that are more serious about Mandela effect stuff, right? They're more about the Kit Kats, the Monopolies, which I'm not saying anything wrong with that. But there's more serious, there's more graphs, there's more information. And we always try to be a show that we'll talk about Mandela effect off of a topic, but we want to have more fun. And, sometimes when I try to find people to come on our show on Tuesday, I shouldn't use the word guest. It's not really guests. We're trying to find friends just to talk with. Because, one person made a comment we saw those comments where people said that when Cynthia was on here, some people said you weren't 100% professional. We're interrupting, and it wasn't about being professional, interrupting. We were just having fun. When you and I were doing like Wayne's World, it's to show her that she had fun. And on the side, she emailed me back and said she enjoyed it because we were just you. There wasn't pre-scripted. It was just whatever came out, came out.
Shit, yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah, I like cool people. I like to get my balls busted a little bit too on the fuck. I don't mind at all. I mean, we joke around. It doesn't matter to me. If you don't bust my balls just a little bit, I don't trust you. I don't know if I can trust a person to bust balls just a little bit, because old Sagittarian English, man, we're a little bit more aggressive of a people. We got larger balls. In fact, we had a much smaller limbic system. And then women had a large limbic system in the brains. If those people don't know, I don't think your problem. I went to school for anthropology. That made us a little bit more edgy. We're a little bit more dog eat dog. So, well, if I don't meet a dog eat dog person, I get a little bit. You must be local. Are you wearing your baseball cap like sideways, with it's all flat like a trucker's? Weird shit. Are you gonna break into some fucking? I feel like you're gonna have a piece of cardboard. You're gonna do a belly flop dance or some kind of weird ass R&B thing. I don't know. Scares me when I see local white people. So I need to see a couple of hard hitters.
Yeah, and and we got a lot of cool messages too. We got one from Overprotected 222. She goes, "Yes, oh my God, I feel like I'm supposed to go to the Def Leppard, Poison, Motley Crue concert and Joan Jett. I have had communications from Janie Lane from Warren." People are having fun, and that's what we want. This is a fun show. This ain't your typical show. And one other person text, I want to get this clear, and said, your topic on George Lucas and Joan Jett dying in 1986 is crazy. And I'm gonna go back up. Now, first of all,
not really.
George, why can't George? I'm serious. Why can't George Lucas have a Mandela effect? I'm not saying he does or not. I'm saying a lot of his decisions seems like it was based on that he had a memory what he's supposed to be, and he did it. Yeah. Okay, and he almost died in a car wreck. So it's like, to me, when people say you're crazy, and when people said Joan Jett's crazy, and the question is on now. First of all, I'm going to tell you something more about the Joan Jett story for a second.
Yeah.
And if this guy thinks I'm crazy, then you think I'm crazy. Okay, I'm going to tell you why that she was going to die in 1986, but God decided to keep her alive to do this movie Light of Day, where instead of her having cancer, her mom has cancer and died in the movie. But there were some messages in that movie, and I bet nobody knows about. I don't know if anybody even seen the movie Light of Day. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie. It stars Joan Jett and Michael J. Fox. But there was two main things that happened in the movie that I think God kept her alive on purpose, so people could see these two parts in the movie and talk about it. But of course, society turns their heads on everything, and you probably don't even know this. Okay, and of course, we're learning what's happening. That happened in the movie is happening big time, especially within the last 10 years. Now, in the movie Light of Day, she plays a rock star who has head issues, big time issues that, because she has a kid and nobody knows who the father of the kid is.
Yeah.
Nobody knows in this movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in the movie, the kid did have a father, and the father in this movie was from a reverend.
Oh, classic.
Reverend.
A reverend, yeah. Okay.
It's more popular now that people know that it's been proven that priests and reverends and people have molested kids. And and I believe that that scene in that movie was supposed to wake people up and saying, "Hey, this stuff is going on. These reverends, these priests, not all of them.
No. Our grandfather had 5 daughters. We were product of our mother from the
a major. And there's another scene in the movie that's questionable that you shouldn't be doing. Now, the scene is Michael J. Fox is the uncle of this kid.
Okay.
A movie where I think the kid's I can't remember, 5 or 6 years old in this movie, was taking a bath with them. taking a bath with an uncle. And I think she was kept alive so people will see these scenes and wake and say, hey, that's not proper. Uncles, cousins are not supposed, this, it was like a pre-Michael Jackson thing. Yeah. I know people are saying you're crazy. You never did. Now, Joan Jett, now it's been proven that some of her music has been changed lyrically with Mandela Effect. So, so when people think I'm crazy saying that everybody that's playing in this one concert has been affected by Mandela Effect, Bret Michaels died in 2010.
Yeah.
Nikki Sixx died twice one night back in 1987. And of course the drummer losing his arm in Def Leppard, and Steve Clark, who died in real life.
Yeah,
this stuff happened, and it's hard to think about. Like, there was actually a movie where it shows an uncle sleeping or taking a bath with a kid and a priest, reverend, having sex. I think
pretty hardcore, man. That's pretty hardcore. That's a good.
What do you think of that? You think I'm crazy?
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore. That's a pretty hardcore movie. It's got a lot of messages. I mean, it's for people. She had it specifically for people to see and understand what was wrong. It's like you decide what the morals of this movie is and what's right or what's wrong. Obviously, we all fucking know. Some people out there probably don't have any problem with that. I'm like, then you need to question yourself, man, because that ain't acceptable. That ain't acceptable. I mean, I have 2 kids raised up. They're 2 little kids. I got a big ass bathtub and they're coming out. I want to take a bath with you. Get the hell out of here. I fart. I like my own jacuzzi. Get the hell out of my bathroom. Your mom will give you one when I'm done. No, my bathtub. Even I don't a lot of dad, well, I'll put my daughter in the bath. It's fine. You put your son or whatever in the bath. It's fine. It's your kids. It's your fucking kids. But, you don't play. You ain't uncle and putting somebody or your fucking niece or your fucking nephew in your bathtub. It ain't going to roll. It ain't going to fly, man.
I'm trying to find
coffee.
I'm trying to find this one text or if it's from a religious guy on a religion channel that we were going majorly back and forth because we're talking about. I was asking, I'm trying to get down to the bottom about the Bible being changed. Yeah. I'm trying to find out how does
Brian Staveley's in there. I got something for him. Actually, it's good. It's science. I didn't know you were coming in the sidebar, you fucking freak. But it's funny, oddly enough, I got something about your flat Earth in here. I got some archaeology for you. So it's kind of weird that he'd show up right now. Actually, I'm not joking. It's a synchronicity. I got something to help you out. Actually, it's in your favor. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. So no. So the church guy was emailing me back and giving me the scriptures and all that. He was saying that Bibles can't be changed. The word of the Bible. I was just asking him, who owns the rights to the Bible? Who owns, when it gets published, can anybody technically wants to change the Bible? Can they? Before. Yeah. It's somebody changing it behind the scenes. I'm just trying to get a straight answer from him. He's like, nobody's allowed to change it. This and this and this and this and this. And he keep on giving me scriptures. They're like, God made this. And I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm like, hold on a second. Okay, so you're saying Bible can't change. Okay, but I thought, I'm not trying to get religious here, but in the world of religion, isn't God supposed to be the most powerful being in the whole universe? The man who created everything. Is that supposed to be true?
It's supposed to be true. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
If that's true, and this doesn't matter about Jesus Christ, that's another story. So if God wants to change the Bible, why can't he?
He can do whatever the fuck he wants, or she wants.
And I was asking that to this. God, I wish I could find that. You know what? Tell your primarily friend about your book for a second. I'm gonna find this guy for a second. I'll look.
Yeah, no problem. So I know Brian Staveley is going to step. I know he's a advocate. He's a diehard flat earther, and so I brought this up. Now again, I come from Sagittarius Arm, and I was in the United States Navy. I was in special operations, and I saw the curvature of the Earth. No one can take that away from me. I saw it, but I'm not in fucking Kansas no more, Toto. So I'm not talking about this place. So this place has a whole new set of physics and fucking rules. So again, I'm saying whatever's on the table is on the table now. I don't know where the fuck we are, but I say we ain't fucking home. Going through my archaeology books, and this is my book on frauds and debunking. The debunking book, archaeology. Okay, I went to school for archaeology, all that fun stuff, University of Washington. So frauds, and I brought this up before. And what is interesting is there was an artifact found. If I can find this artifact, there's an artifact found. I'm going to read this out. It's for Brian Stavely. The so-called keystone, the first of the Newark holy stones found in Ohio, was presumed by some to have been produced by ancient Israelites. I got a lot to say on that one, too. Who visited the Americas Midwest some 2,000 years ago, courtesy of Johnson Humricker House Museum, Ohio. The Decalogue, the second of the Newark Holy Stones, was written in more ancient version of Hebrew than the keystone, bearing an enumeration of the Ten Commandments, bottom, courtesy of Johnson, whatever. The calendar stone, one of the Davenport tablets, middle proceedings of the Davenport Academy of Natural Sciences, was found in Davenport, Ohio. Iowa. That's right, Iowa. The Hebrew inscription on the holy stone and the calendar stone assortment of the Old World scripts seem to point to a non-Indian origin for the mounds. It is now accepted by most of all three or hoaxes. However, it's still there. I only presume hoaxes because nobody wants to accept the fact that the Israelites might have been here a long time ago. And with this place with a shorter and smaller topography, flat, as you might want to call it, it's plausible that everyone traveled all over this globe way before anybody talked about. So the round thing is gone, flat is in, whatever you want to call it, fucking pear shape. But here is the evidence of a firmament, as you guys can see here. There we go. If I could get it all the way up on camera. You guys can see there what looks to be like a dome, and you have the sun and the moon within what they would call a firmament. So this is a geocentric model, and it was got early. That's got it's got proto-Israelite, whatever. It's Hebrew, which is actually more of an Arabic, and it kind of shows evidence, and they call it a calendar of what would be called a dome Earth. This evidence was uncovered, was out of the ground. And a lot of people say, well, there was no Israelites in the United States. And I agree, I debunk. However, in this timeline, things change. Mandela effect again. There was evidence of genetic, there is Israeli, Hebrew, Jewish, whatever, proto, whatever. There is the DNA marker, and it's found with the Cherokee Native Americans. Some of the Cherokee Native Americans carry that marker, that genetic marker for Hebrew. The Hebrew marker. So they do have evidence now to support that there were Israelites in the United States of America. And how would they get here? They can't take that far of a ride. That boat wouldn't make it that far. Absolutely correct back on Sagittarius arm. But in this place, it is 100% plausible. So yeah, am I saying it's flat? No, I'm saying, yeah, there's a firmament apparently with some of the architecture and some of the artifacts. It's showing firmaments from way, way back with the Israelites. And it's also showing evidence that the Israelites were here in the United States of America. I want to throw that at you. I want that for Brian's support system for his round or flat Earth theory. You got it, man. You got a plausibility for me. It's plausible. Earth, I don't believe in flats, but I believe in some sort of shape. It's definitely close to something like that, but I don't know. I say it's the back of the turtle. Anyway, go ahead, Eric.
No. Actually, this is a side thing. I want people to help answer this question. What was it? I don't remember. What was it, last week or I think Patrick was having fun with us, and he sent a message saying, "Where's my wrench?" And and when he said that, at first I'm like, Where's his winch? Where's his woman? Because I'll be honest, I didn't know what the fuck a wrench was. I'll be honest, I did not know what a wrench was. So I didn't know. I never used a wrench before on this, and the information that was sent, and maybe correct me if this is right. If this is what a wrench does. A wrench, if you put a wrench on somebody, they can block people and comments in the live chat, but also in the chat relay, and they can delete comments under the videos.
Yeah, also post.
If that's, I'm just asking. So if that's what a wrench does, when you give somebody the wrench,
yeah.
Why? I'm just asking, why would you give somebody a wrench? If somebody could change or delete comments, that's technically, not the show they're running. Is it plausible? Is it a good thing to give somebody a power of the wrench?
Remember, I talked about that. I gave out wrenches, and I found out later. I experimented. I just did a whole experiment. My whole thing is anthropology. I experimented in my sidebar. In fact, Patrick remembers that. I used to experiment all the time. He finally got out of it. But I found out that there was somebody, they were deleting my posts. They were deleting my posts. All my posts were being deleted. People were getting deleted. People that I liked were being deleted. It was kind of a sabotage.
Sorry, I love what Patrick said.
Hold on. I'm going to read a sidebar. Conscious intuition sees the ego. Oh, I missed that one. Wrenches for
Patrick wrote, "Yeah, fucker, I want my wrench, bitch."
Hi, system.
Ryan said it's mostly to moderate chat, bro. You know what? And that's a good answer because, like I said, I never give wrenches out before.
In the back, if you let me in, okay. To ban the trolls that come in and attack everyone. I enjoy trolls. That's I get off on it. I actually come up with some pretty good fucking funny ones. I like to rip up on trolls. That's what's out of heart. See. Round Earth here. I don't care about the flat bullshit. Stavely, hi, bro. We need to bring Stavely on so he could talk about. Before we bring Stavely on, I got to do one thing. To Stavely. Now watch this. Watch my hand.
Or Stavely could come on. The link is there. I put it in there for him.
I'm a batter. I'm going up the bat. My name is Babe Ruth. Going up the bat. Before I fucking swing, I take my finger and I point. Out past center.
Not today. You can't.
Hand with my finger. Who am I? What's going on with that situation? And that's how I remembered it. I know there was a big dispute about it. I think Patrick the Painter remembers. Brian remembers the baseball bat, pointing out the baseball bat. I've seen that. Honestly, seen that played out in a lot of movies. Well, a lot of movies they mimicked, and here's the catch-22. They mimicked the Babe, and they pointed the bat, which always confused me why they're pointing the bat, because he always used his finger. He pointed out. So there is truth on both sides on that argument. I want to put that out there. I want to put out that fire for a lot of people. I've seen movies where they use the bat to mimic the Babe. And then the Babe himself, I remember him in old black and whites pointing his finger. But it's like after he pointed his finger, no one's ever done it before. Now they use the bat. So there's an argument that people have been having about Babe Ruth.
I guess I should have brung up the wrench thing. Now somebody around, where's my wrench, bitch?
Guys are savage. Great stuff. Right and wrong, good and bad, simplified. Reality is not complicated. It's all about the right and wrong. Well, yeah. The weird thing is about yin and yang. There's always the good and there's always the bad. You got to have the bad with the good. You can't see the bad without the good. You can't see the good without the bad. It sucks that everyone has a role to play. I'm still a little bit more of I'm a balancer more towards Islam, as stupid as it may sound, because I ran around with them guys a long time. And I'm a big fan of it is written, as the Prophet Muhammad said, Allah put out there. He's not the devil. By the way, people who talk about Satan, let me put that fucking fire out too. Does anybody know what Satan is? I always want to. I'm going to put this out there first.
Donald Trump.
Very good. Actually, you're correct. You are correct. He would be defined as Satan. Anybody out there, tell me what your definition of Satan is. What is Satan to you? I'm going to tell you right now. Let's see what they say. What's the cyber guy say?
Hey, Brian, don't worry about coming on. Usually on Thursday and Friday, me and my brother, we just shoot shot ourselves. We usually only bring guests on like on Tuesdays. So don't worry about it, Brian. Eric, your guess is fucking pussy. Tell him to cut that beard.
Who said this?
Patrick.
Oh, fuck off. I need this for allergies. I grew this beard for allergies. That's why I grew this beard, for allergies. Every shift we had, I had allergies. It was real bad. I've never had allergies a day in my life, so I grew this beard and I have no allergies. Besides, it testosterone.
I don't know if these people know that.
Okay.
I don't think none of these people have ever none of these people ever went on our channel and scrolled all the way down and watched our little movie that we made called The Actual Real Ghost Hunters.
Yeah, they haven't seen that.
People seen our little movie that we made where you actually got molested by mermaid doll.
Yes. Satan represents us, humanity. Let me see. We all fell from who we were before the Incarnation Institute. Okay. Very good answer. I'm going to tell you guys who Satan is. It's going to be real simple.
All yours.
Here we go. I'm going to tell you guys from an educated point of view, and it's not what people think. Satan is how it's pronounced. Satan is Arabic. It's an Arabic word that was brought back with the Crusades. The word was brought back with the Crusades. It's Satan. It's Arabic. It means judge. There is no evil in the words in Arabic and their culture. There is no evil Satan. Satan. There is no such thing as an evil Satan. There's no pitchforks for Satan. So when they say they're satanic, you're judgist. It means judge in English. It translates to judge. It means judge. It's a judge. So technically, when you go get your traffic ticket and you stand in front of a judge, you're standing in front of Satan. If you want to call him judge in Arabic, you would call him Satan. He is Satan. He is Satan. So people that use that word, they use it like it's a fucking just. They misinterpret everything and use it the wrong way. If you didn't know what Satan was, it's just a word for judge. There is no Satan in any books other than the word judge. So in Arabic, it's judge. So if you go anything to do with Islam, I was like, oh, it's Satan. Satan is a judge. It's a judge. So when you go and sit there and you get married, when you get married and put a ring on your finger, and you go to like the courthouse to go do it, the judge is doing it, you're basically getting married by Satan. Anything to do with a judge, anything to do with judicial system in Arabic, they're called Satan. They're called Satan. We pronounce it Satan. So I always when I hear people say satanic, you're satanic. I'm not satanic. I believe in the horn gods. I'm a pagan. I have nothing to do with Satan. There's no Satan. Am I a Satan? If I become a judge, yes, I'll become Satan. Will I become satanic? Absolutely. If I become a judge, then I'll become satanic. Was Yeshua satanic? Yes. Satan. Yes. In antiquity, Yeshua would be satanic because he is a judge. They're just because he spoke early Hebrew was Arabic, so he would have been called Satan. Jesus would have been called Satan, a judge. That's what he would have been called. Satan, Satan. Jesus is Satan. He is the judge. So I always want to throw it at you guys. Always a little bit of controversy. I'm going to piss off a lot of Christians because number one, Christians are stupid. They didn't go to fucking school to learn shit. You just listen to a fucking guy up on a thing up there. He don't even know what it means. Everybody's wrong. And now with the Bible changing the way it is, I'm happy God's changing shit up. I'm making me laugh. So I'm trying to shed some light on it, on certain words that have been misused. And like the swastika, which was actually belonged to another group of people other than the fucking Aryans. And the Aryans are popping up everywhere now with all their stupid Nazi shit. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, back to you, Eric. I just want to shed some light and add that to your show.
No. There was a video. I thought it was an awesome, cool little video. It was a 2-minute video, actually from Patrick Roberts, our new Timline channel. He made a 2-minute video where he went down to the store and went to two people that he didn't know and start talking about changes that he saw within the store.
Yeah.
And I love that video for a main reason. Like I said, some shows keeps talking about the top 10 most popular Mandela effect stuff, the Monopoly. Yeah. I'm not bashing it, but Monopoly. But when you see something raw like that, when he's asking two people about a change that happens in a store, I love those videos more than talking about the same old kind of stuff that you hear here and there. Yeah. So Patrick, I love that video. You just going up to somebody, and you know what? And you got to give Patrick a little credit too, because it's not easy to just go up to strangers. You say, knowing that they're looking at you like, "What? Are you crazy?" You did that at your workplace when you work at the museum. People look at you as crazy. So I want to give a little shout out. If you haven't seen that video, guys, go to Patrick Roberts, our new Timeline channel, and watch that little 2-minute video. I loved it. I love that 2-minute video. I just want to give a little shout out.
I can see Patrick's passive in the face. He's got a good heart, and he's passive, and he's a little gentle when he walks up. He's not like, I'm a bulldozer. I try to be nice. I'm a very nice person. But if I talk about something, they're staring at my beard. They're thinking I'm some kind of weird fucking religious zealot. I can't. I can only talk science. I can only do. When I talk anything with the Bible, it's hard for me because people start looking at the beard, and now I'm looking like John the Baptist or some kind of weirdo. They're like, it's hard for me to do walk-up videos with people. And I've tried. I do get out, run around videos. I've done those outside, a lot of those, but it takes a lot of fucking balls to do that. That's pretty fucking impressive to walk up to a complete stranger and ask questions. Again, not everyone can do that. I mean, you're comfortable looking person, I guess. Patrick the Painter is just a cuddly little man. He's cuddly looking. You just want to hug him like a big kitty. Patrick's like a big kitty.
I still remember that time when remember when those two people, those two young guys, they dressed in those, in suits from that one church of looking for Gabriel.
Oh God, Jehovah's Witnesses.
And they kept coming every day for him. I wish we would have filmed what you said to those people, because you flipped those two people on their head to a point where this one guy was looking at his phone. He's like, dude, we got to go. We got to go. And then here you thought these two church people were never going to come back, right? Because you flipped these two on their heads. But then one that came back with an older a black lady to like go to war with you. But you already flew back to Manchester. Tell us about that. Tell everybody about that situation, what happened, how you made these two people flip at the door. I wish people would have saw that. They would have loved it.
I gave them the basics. I'm not going to go into all the Bible stuff. There's so many changes. But I gave them the lion and the lamb. I mean, it was the basic lion and the lamb. And they were like, well, the guy kept looking. And I go, number one, why are you looking it up? Now, I'm a pagan. I told him, I don't need to look in the book to tell you what this says. It says the lion will lay with the lamb. Now, can you confirm that with me from your memory? Just confirm it. The other guy, there was two guys. One guy's like, absolutely, yeah, of course, it's lion and the lamb. I said, you sure about that? The other guy says, I'm not. I know. And he's like babbling away. I said, so you remember lion and the lamb, but you do not remember. So one of the guys was having a difficult time, like he was being scrambled. Like his shit wasn't real. Like he had some kind of fungus infested in his brain in this fucking weird ass place we live where his brain didn't work. And I'm looking at him, you're walking around with your book. You want to sell me your book. You want me to fucking become a Jehovah's Witness, but you can't tell me who laid with the lamb, my friend. Tell me. And he finally fucking, with his little hand, he couldn't handle it. It's a simple question. He had to look it up. I didn't give him the answer. I just asked him what it was. Like I'm interested, but the guy couldn't answer the question. One guy did, the other guy could not. He looked it up. He says, "Well, it didn't explain to me what it was. Is where the lion was lined up within the passage because it starts with the wolf, but then it leads." I'm like, "Whoa, partner!" And now the guy behind him he's like looking at him and he's looking at me and I'm looking at him and he's looking at him. I said, no, man, it was always the fucking lion. So your book is incorrect. Well, it's not that it's incorrect. The way it's written, no. It always started off with the lions. The other guy behind was like, yeah, it's always started off with a lion. So he's looking at his book and he's like, one guy has electronic. And now I'm just going in some other little changes. I'm not going to give them all away. But I'm going in some other little slight changes. And he's like confused too. And he's having to look it up. The other guy's like, no, the way you say it's correct. So he's going in his paper book. So now they're both confused.
Yeah,
I look like
you broke them.
I broke up, and one guy was just like, he walked away. He's in shock. He wants to get the fuck out of there because he saw the changes in his own handbook. And the other guy had a little computer. And he's just punching in shit, the fucking whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Well, as you can see right here, where I'm like, that's incorrect, man. That's not what it says in his book. And his book was like, it's the same thing but this is incorrect. So I broke one of them. One of them probably quit the church. He probably went home and had a fucking rabbit hole stumble, and he probably fighting with his fucking church. The other guy to save face had to come back with someone else.
Yeah, that guy never came back. They brought an old lady to go battle with you.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Ridiculous. If you don't go around preaching shit if you don't know what you're preaching. That's what I'm saying. Just don't go preaching. Don't sell a vacuum cleaner if you don't know how it works. Don't tell me the price of the vacuum cleaner, what it could do for me. Let me know how it works. So one guy is telling me how it works, how he remembered it worked. And the other guy is telling me how he remembers it worked, but they're both different fucking people. But when I asked the guy actual biblical questions, he didn't remember all of a sudden. It wouldn't even affect that he could just spout out the fucking wolf. He didn't spout out the wolf. He couldn't remember the basics. It was so bad he had to go look it up. He was having brain farts. It was like something stopping his fucking brain from remembering, which is telling me a lot of shit about a lot of people here. When you ask them questions, something's stopping them, or something happens, a noise or click or a boom happens, and they walk away. There he is.
I don't know why I didn't notice this before. System Failure's picture is C3PO.
Oh yeah.
So I'm moving the hands.
I'm not much more than an interpreter and not very good at telling stories.
Sorry, I like toys.
You know what I like? Okay, no offense out there. I like the C3PO here, the plastic one, because he speaks more posh. We couldn't understand that Irish bastard. He spoke so fast. I'm joking with him. He's out there and he's laughing. System Failure's laughing. I know he's laughing. He can take it. But I like it. I like the toy better because he speaks posh. We need to teach System Failure posh. We're gonna give him posh classes. And those of you that know what posh is, System, fuck off, mate. Fuck off, man. I'm not speaking posh.
I feel embarrassed. There was a show. I watched the whole Witcher season, and there was another show. It was on Netflix. It was a British show, right? About these girls. I know it sounds weird. It's about these girls that is based back in the 90s, and it's based in the 90s. A good show. It's about during the Irish when the Civil War was going on.
Oh,
right? But they were talking so fast. I literally could not understand. So it's kind of weird. I turned on subtitles because I couldn't understand.
Yeah, I have that problem in England by itself. I go to you, and people joke about England is you can go to a different area. We're like talking a couple of blocks down. You go a couple of blocks down, and they speak an entirely different type of English. It's a totally different. You go to a new district, like the Lake District, they call it. They speak a whole different type of English. You go a little further, getting closer to Scotland, they speak more of a little Scottish English. You go down like Essex, down by London. They have their own fucking language in Essex. It's like weird language. And then you go, I'm gonna dry slap ya. Dry slap me. What the fuck is a dry slap as opposed to a wet slap? Okay, this weirdest slangs, and like you go to the other side of London, it's a whole different type of English. and they all fight each other, not based off color, but based off of how their accents are. There is more racism in fucking England based off accents. You know, Americans don't fight based off accents. We kind of like each other's accents. That's cool, man. I want to speak like that. Like Brian Stavely's from the East Coast. He's from the East Coast. Some guys from the West Coast make fun of the East Coast. East Coast guys make fun of the fucking West Coast guys. It's just in fun, though. But over here, they're like, they want to fight. Because these people live on the fucking edge of the water. They have a whole different English opposed to these people like about 5 miles inward. They speak a different English. So I always joke about, do you speak posh? Please tell me you speak posh because I can't understand a word you're saying. It's really crazy over here. Now,
some of those southern states here in the United States of America, some of those southern states, they talk so goddamn quick.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like remember,
that shit. That dog got up down there. That shit old place. Yeah, goddamn.
Yeah. They talk so fast. I'm like, what?
There was some bitches up down there one way down there. Go, yeah. Look up the cats, them shack, of them cats. What the fuck did you say? Something about the cats running into the shack.
English said like Ireland changes in for each mile. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. And I was in Ireland, in different parts of Ireland, like Northern Ireland, they speak more of an English. And then you go like into the heart of Ireland, all over the places, they speak it really, really strong. Like they're speaking the local Gaelic, man, kind of a woo. Whoa, it sounds crazy. They speak the local tongue, the Gaelic tongue. Like, wow.
Hey, Ocean Girl just joined. Hey, welcome, Ocean Girl.
Oh, there she is. She's over on vacation.
Need some coffee. You know what I didn't do really this week, Ocean Girl? I apologize. I don't think I did a morning coffee show about what coffee I'm drinking for the week on my other channel. I apologize, Ocean Girl. You know, and I bought brand new coffees to experiment and do on the air. I apologize, but hopefully you got your coffee. You're ready to go. And
yeah, me too.
I love getting new people to our chats here. You know, I think we got Nat. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Nat Chiquita. Nat Chiquita. Am I saying that right?
I can't. Oh yeah. That's Japanese. I think. Yeah. Hey, he's American, obviously. I lived in Japan. I don't know if he's lived in Japan. I lived in Japan for a while.
And well, you know what? I appreciate. He was on another live stream and he was talking about Cynthia Larson. I said, "Hey, I had her on our show. We had Cynthia Sue Larson on our show, and he actually went to her channel and watched it. And And I told him that I actually been emailed. She emails me here once in a while, and she is going to try to make time sometime in the next 2 months to come back.
Yeah, I liked her.
She enjoyed it, and she had fun. And I know Nachita emailed me to ask certain kind of questions, and if I get her back on, I'll make sure I'll let you know. So you can ask her questions yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with some things. Now, again, everyone has their own opinion, which is why we're all here to have a great time having conversations. I mean, I disagree with the split experiment. I debunked it. There's no such thing as the split experiment or the slit experiment. I debunked it. It's not real. In my opinion, in my judgment, it's not. But not everyone thinks that way. I've debunked a lot of false sciences out there. They're just in everyone's faces. People base their lives on these sciences, and I myself am a scientist. I myself went to this fucking university, and I am debunking a lot of the sciences now that they've been shoving down people's throats, including to help the flat earthers out. A lot of the sciences about the earth itself is a lie. And of course, I worked with guys from NASA. I worked for, basically our place got funded by NASA. So I worked technically for NASA, but in a nonprofit capacity. And then I knew a lot about things about the astronomy, which is all completely changed. I know a lot of that's lies too. A lot of it's fucking lies. And I know that to support the flat earthers, absolutely they lie. They lie a lot when I worked. When I woke up with the Mandela effect, I had a lot of fucking arguments with them about a lot of shit because I didn't know what they were talking about. I said, this is fucking bullshit. They gave me this. Are you poor? What you know, where were you born? Where were you born? I go, I know what you mean with where I was born. It doesn't mean what planet, guys. That means what fraternity were you born. In other words, shut your fucking mouth. Anyway, I had a heart attack. They got rid of me there real quick. But
his name is actually Mike. So okay, that's cool.
Oh, Mike. That's
cool. Hey, Mike, I'm telling you, if you guys haven't been, you're on my channel, go watch our little movie that we made about 2 months ago about my brother being molested by a mermaid doll. You know, it's a fun little video we just made.
I like how you put that. It's really decent of you to put it that way.
You know, it was a sight to see. It's a sight. You know, it is a disturbing sight to see you getting molested by a mermaid doll. But it happened, people. You got to watch that video. It was a video 2 months ago called The Actual Hunters. Now, the special effects might be not so good. I might have had to steal some special effects scenes from other movies. But actually, when I know you have to come back to America sometime soon because of the visa, and when is that? Like 2-3 months or so?
Well, here's the problem. I can't. I'm not supposed to talk about that because I'm all over the place. Remember, certain places I'm at have different extended time. But what I can talk about is sooner than I'm supposed to because the VA is sending me massive letters. So those of you with the VAs, it's the Veterans Administration, which thinks I'm completely fucking off my rocker because I'm screaming I'm fucking from Sagittarius arm, which I am. And not to mention the government wants to talk to me.
Well, the reason I'm bringing that up,
kind of information, wanting me to come back. They want to talk to me, so I'm not. We'll see how that goes. So I got.
Well, the reason I was bringing that up, just so people know, I'm bringing that up because, you know, I finally got the better camera system. I'm not using the camera on this. That we're gonna film. We're gonna actually try to film a full feature movie. Okay. Now, I don't know if any of you guys liked the Mandela Effect movie or not. I thought the movie wasn't good. I didn't know if it wanted to be a documentary or it wanted to be a sci-fi. You know, so we're gonna make our own movie. Okay, it's gonna have maybe some Mandela Effects in it. Who knows? But we're gonna make a full-length movie, an hour and a half. The other movie was just a 6 minutes trial.
Yeah,
I think we learned a lot on how to cut, how to put things together.
Yes,
and I know some of you guys already know. Some of you guys already know, like Patrick, he's going to do a scene for us. We're going to meet Patrick. He's going to do a scene where he's going to die in it. I'm sorry, Patrick. The scene in this movie we're going to make, you're going to die. Brian said the movie was trash. The movie was trash. Thank you, Brian. Because when my brother, we did a review on this channel, and my brother asked me first, he goes, out of a 10, what did you give it? And he was shocked when because you thought I was gonna give it a higher number. I said I'm only gonna give it a 3, and the only reason I gave this movie even a 3 because the actor who ever played that part, his acting wasn't bad.
No, he was a good actor.
Yeah, it wasn't him that fucked up the movie. The story, like I said, I didn't know it was like trying to make the Mandela a cookie cutter thing. You know, but it's trying to make sci-fi. It's like sometimes decide what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know? You don't need to make a movie, a documentary, you know, make the sci-fi, use some Mandela effects, but don't make it like obvious. Because they make things too obvious. Here's the monopoly. Here's the computer. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Go insane. Why would you make the wife? What is the wife going insane apart about? Okay, people have problems with people with the Mandela effect. Okay, they get over it, they get upset. They usually leave, divorce, breakups, or you get fired or something like that. But nobody's going to go to fucking cuckoo land. There's no fucking one flew over the cuckoo's nest for people that, yeah, we all look a little crazy. Absolutely. Let's get that on the fucking table. But no one that doesn't have the effect is going to go into slipping some fucking weird-ass insanity over you having the effect. If anything, they're going to fucking yell at you. And you're gonna have the problem, but the nature God swapped the return of the girl, and then she has to take the brunt of the fucking by her returning, she goes insane. What is that? What is here's the thing. It labeled people with the effect insane or making people insane. The truth about it is that people with the Mandela effect are not insane. We are the ones that are sane. We're the ones that can see the fucking changes and are having a damn good laugh about it. We're not crazy. The unaffected are the ones that are fucking insane to me. They're insane. They are insane. I don't hate them for it. It's not their fault. It's just that God don't love them. I don't know what it is. They're bad people on the inside. Who knows? Or maybe as one person put it, if I'm going to have fucking somebody doing surgery on my if I'm having something wrong with me and doing surgery on my heart, I don't want them digging on the left. I want them digging at where it's at right now. So people in the medical field, I'm kind of happy they don't have the Mandela effect. So that's how I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of giving them a little bit of credit for not having it in those certain professions. Thank God for that. Because nobody would work on anybody's fucking. The anatomies change. Work on my fucking. Work on my kidneys, and then I'm gonna roll over on my stomach, and they're gonna be like, "What are you doing in your stomach?" They're rubbing on my back and work on the front part. Oh, I thought they were in the back. Thank God, you know you're from here.
We're getting some people offering to help out with the movie stuff, system failure, offer some stuff and all that. I love that. Oh, but remember what I said? Remember the scene in the movie where he's on the computer and he's making all these changes on the computer? Did I tell you what movie that reminded me of and how that movie kicks this movie's ass?
Yeah.
What movie was that?
Oh, okay.
What movie was it?
It's the B-rated movie.
I have to turn off this machine. Hold on.
It's the B-rated movie with Ron Howard's little brother, the bald guy. Ron Howard's little brother. Ron Howard's little brother. That's all I can say about it.
My iRobot just turned on, so I had to go turn it off. So shut up. Evil Speak.
Little brother.
Evil Speak. Remember that movie with Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother, where Cooper his name was Cooper Dick. Okay.
Yes.
So Cooper Dick got a Bible, and dude, I think I think Evil Speak is more of a Mandela Effect movie than the Mandela Effect itself, because the movie was about taking the devil's Bible, putting in the computer to study, to understand it, during the movie. And the thing is, this is why I like this movie, Evil Speak. Most people are evil. Jason Voorhees, they're all evil, right? They're all evil. Okay. Now they named him Cooper Dick in the movie. These soldiers made fun of him because they didn't want him there. Remember that? They didn't want him there. So they bashed him. They fucked him over. They made him bring Satan into the world, into his body. And like you said, Satan is you. He became Satan because it's him. And then he flies with the sword, remember, with the pig heads, and then he goes kills everybody. Yes. That movie in the 80s is more of a Mandela Effect movie than the Mandela Effect. Guys, check it out. It's called Evil Speak. Or click after the show, watch the trailer. I know it looks cheesy, but it's a hell of a movie, and it's more of a Mandela Effect movie than the Mandela Effect itself.
That's one of my things about Mandela Effect people. People ask me what's my opinion of Mandela affected people that actually have the effect. People that actually have the effect that are awake. They're assholes. That's how I know they have the Mandela effect. They're not like the locals, because people that have the effect came from shitty situations. They got fired. They've had medical problems. They've got fucking discharged. There was a percentage in prison. There's a percentage that are probably going to prison after we wake up, more and more. There's a whole lot of fuck-ups in the fucking Mandela effect fucking world. I've talked to people. They all have had near-death experiences. They've all had traumatic things happen. They've had family members pass away. You and I had multiple, and I was in the military, multiple. I just got numb to it. People pass away. You become rigid, a little more edgy. You're a fucking kind of a dick, but you at the same time, you got a big heart. But you've been fucked over a lot, but you got a big heart. And so when I see people from Sagittarius Arm, for whatever reason, those of us that came from Sagittarius Arm, we came out of hell. Okay, so we were in hell. I see it as coming out of hell. We came out of hell. Now we're in what we call, it's a step up. It might not be heaven, but it's a step up better. And a lot of people with the effect are finding friends with the effect. They're finding girlfriends, boyfriends. They're making a living. They're selling mugs. They're selling fucking T-shirts. The ones who actually have the effect. Some of them are trying to make books. I mean, some of them are writing poetry, writing music, making movies. They're becoming comedians. People with the Mandela effect, because this place is dry. The movies suck. The comedians suck. Everything sucks, and this place is dry. It's like dry toast. Those of us that have the Mandela effect, we're like buttered white toast, or brown toast, whatever you guys want, rye, whatever you want. And then over here, they're dry toast. They're dry toast. That's why I found out that fucking Zuckerberg, suck a turd, was handing out $1 million. Now, people don't know this. He was handing out $1 million for people with the actual Mandela effect, who had the Mandela effect. He's handing out $1 million. That's why, what's his name? Fucking the rap artist, Kanye West. People don't know this. Kanye West sent it. People that remember this. Kanye West sent a fucking a link. He sent an email to fucking Zuckerberg saying, "Give me $1 million because I have the Mandela effect and I can put out music of the people from back home." And so he asked Zuckerberg for a fucking $1 million. Those of you that remember that, think about that when he did that. There's a reason why he did it, because Zuckerberg on the inside was going to give out $1 million to invest in a person who has the actual effect, because you have all these memories that people here don't have. And you have a little bit of something extra because your bread is fucking got some butter on it. And there's his
read Amazing Adventures 27, 28, 29, and 30.
Ooh. Comic book? Is that a comic book?
Amazing Adventures.
Adventures.
Is that a comic book? What is that exactly? I don't.
Culture's been dry since 1983. Of course, the 80s were it, guys. I love the 90s. I love the grunge. But after that was done. It's died, man. After grunge was over.
Let me say this. You know how you're talking about, tragedies happen? Sometimes you wonder, can the tragedy stop?
Kanye for president.
I mean, my God. Seriously, can tragedies actually finally stop? I mean, yeah, everybody has a story, but my God, everybody knows, I should have died as a baby when I flew out of a car. You went off a cliff.
Yeah,
you went off a cliff. It's just, our brother committed suicide in a way because he couldn't handle how life was treating him. I mean, we've had, sometimes you wonder, can life please slow down? It's kind of like that old stupid saying, can't we all just get along?
Can't we all just get along?
And that's what, remember in the beginning of the show where we talked about, like fart jokes.
Yeah.
And what I hope is this show can be that outlet for people to make fart jokes and kind of release life, because if you let life get you too hard, we've seen it. Our brother, sister committed suicide. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, and so it's like sometimes you're like, I'm tired of tragedy.
Comic books. I'm a nerd. I've got comic books. I'm starting my new Conan collection. Oh, Crom. I believe in Crom.
Whoa. System failure? Kanye for president? Well, dude. No, system failure. System failure? I don't think you watched my earlier shows, way earlier. I'm running for president. I literally signed the form and sent it in. I'm officially allowed to be president. So, no, you're voting for me, baby.
For president. You guys are vote for
me. I actually, on air, filled out the form on air and sent it in.
Yeah. Eric's running for president. So I got all the comics.
Yeah.
I got all the Too Much Coffee bands back. Too Much Coffee bands. I found them in that box at your house, and I guess your kids put them in a box. They almost got destroyed. I grabbed them. I stole them.
No, remember, it was in a box because the house was getting redone.
Oh, I know. I was joking.
So a lot of things, and those things were never. We made sure that it never got ripped, never got damaged.
You see this one right here, dude? You see this one right here? No, I've read all. Remember you and me? I used to go to all the comic book stores, look for Too Much Coffee, man. You remember all the stores I would fucking go in and out, and we were in the East Coast. We're up in New York, upstate New York. I was going to all the shops looking for. I've never seen this I've never seen this episode. I've never seen this one. I've read all the Too Much Coffee, man. This is brand spanking new, right fucking now, by the way. I've never seen this. I've never seen this. This is a Mandela effect. I don't know if you guys have the Too Much Coffee, man, whatever. Well, here's a Mandela effect that I just found out.
You know what? I'm going to jump in. Our buddy just wrote, my bio father passed when I was 8. I just want to say I appreciate that he feels that he could let that out on the show. You know, get that stuff out. And when you talk about stuff like that, it makes you feel better. You know, so hey, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you're able to say that with us.
We're moving on, and we know now there's no such thing as death. So I'm a little bit. I know my brother's alive somewhere. He's just not here. I don't remember this thing. I don't remember this in there. This little mini comic was never in this fucking package, dude. This was never in the package. I don't know what this is. I've never read this before. So I'm having a little bit of a personal one at the moment right now, guys. I don't know if you guys are comic book fans. Go back and look at your comic books, man. Go back and look at your comics. I'm having a little bit of a freak out at the moment. Oh my god, this is cool.
Conan 121, excellent, must read.
Yeah. I'm a comic book nerd. I noticed there's a lot of nerds with the Mandela effect, by the way. I played Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid. Got kicked out of high school for it.
Yes, you did. That's what I'm talking about. I'm tired of tragedy. And get this, guys, this is a true story. This is a true story. He got kicked out of school, right? And I wasn't even in high school yet. And I haven't really done anything bad yet, I guess. And they made me sign a paper to say that I won't miss school and stuff, not because I was missing school, because of him. I mean, it's so weird that we live. I don't know, maybe it was the 80s. These schools didn't understand. I mean, our school was not nice. Remember when I was in elementary school in our town of Kermit, outside of Fresno. I'm not joking. I'm not lying about this. Remember, I was the first young kid that ever had an earring in my ear. Remember, in the 80s, because kids didn't get earrings.
No,
you couldn't go to the mall and get your earrings, or get your pussy pierced, and none of that back in those days. And remember, a teacher looked at me and said, "Boys do not wear earrings," and ripped it right out of my ear and kept the earring.
Oh, let me do a disclaimer. Hold on. He said a vagina piercing. Also for the men, it was called the hold on, Prince Albert. So men got Prince Alberts. Prince Albert is when you insert a coil rod through the bottom part of your penis head and then curl it through it, and you had a Prince Albert. So to also represent the men that had pierced Prince Alberts and vagina piercings. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, you know, it was different. Young people got it easier nowadays. I'm going to say that they do. They do. We broke the mold for most of the things.
Yeah.
The mold.
Yeah.
You got kicked out of school because you're playing Dungeons and Dragons. I had to sign a piece of paper. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this. If you remember this. Remember, I did play hooky one day.
Yes.
Maybe I played hooky a lot of days. And not even our father knew I played hooky. And I needed a note for school. And you wrote me a note for school. And you know what? I was stupid. I did not read the note. Do you remember what you wrote?
I don't know what I wrote. I don't
remember what you wrote on that note.
I know I wrote notes. I know I wrote notes. I remember. Now, remember, you and I have different fucking memories. People out there, understand, he's my younger brother, and we share same memories, the majority, but we do have different memories. That's just how you are with your family members. That's why you can get along with your friends. You could have the effect and not be 100% the same. But I did write notes. I wrote myself a lot of notes. I wrote friends' notes. I was the number one because I took calligraphy in school. I took calligraphy, if you know what calligraphy is. My dumbass redneck self took calligraphy. So I had beautiful penmanship that the way the teachers would write. So I would write notes for people. What did I say to your note, man? Let me see if I remember.
And I fucking did not read it. When I handed the note, She looked at me and said, "Oh, so you're abducted by aliens? You missed school yesterday because you were abducted by aliens?" That was what you wrote that. And I was stupid. I did not read it. I'm like, I was like, yeah, I was abducted by aliens last night. And the coolest thing was she just let me go and said, go to class.
As long as Dad signed it, that's all that matters. As long as
Dad didn't sign it. You did. You signed it as
I know I signed it. I always signed. I practiced Dad's signature. I practiced Dad's signature, Aunt Mary's signature. I've got teachers' signatures down. I've had everybody's signatures down. I used to fucking write notes, the hall passes. I used to fucking do the hall passes. I had beautiful. I was ambidextrous. I could write with both hands. I was able to write with my left hand and my right hand. And by the way, for those of you that are repressed like I was when I was in school and I was writing with my left hand, the teacher would fucking whack it with a ruler and say, we don't write with our left hands.
Do you remember Scud? Scud's a comic books.
Scuds.
Somebody wrote that in a comment. Does anyone remember Scud? Scud comic books. What do you say? Comic books is just illustrated stories and it isn't nerdy. Oh no, it's not nerdy. But there was. I think you and I talked about comic books the other day on a show that there used to be a time when people look down on you if you're a grown up because you read comics.
Yeah, fuck them.
And comics. The thing is about comics. Comics have beautiful art, and comics. To be honest, comics has come a long way too.
I love comics.
One of the best
creativity.
One of the best comic book movies. One of the best that nobody even talks about no more. Nobody talks about it anymore. And it was a darker comic. It was like the first of a kind change of comics being darker, and the movie was fucking awesome. And nobody talks about it. The Crow.
Yeah.
Which Brandon Lee died in that movie.
Yeah.
With the stuff. That movie Crow was fucking awesome because coming back from the dead to take revenge on people, that took comic books to a whole new level.
Technically, people with the Mandela effect are like Crow.
Yeah.
Because we all came back from the dead.
Because remember, only movies you had before that were basically the Batman and Supermans. The Crow was like one of the first ones. Like you could make a comic book in something else. A lot of people don't even remember Crow as actually from a comic book. The Walking Dead series is from a comic book series.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I love comics. I had stacks and stacks of them. No, I would read the books. We read the literature books, but I preferred fucking comic books. And I used to, even when I went to university, I'd go into the fucking library and I would read fucking comics, man. I'd rather read comics. I go to a coffee shop where everyone's playing hoity-toity and reading the latest literature by this fucking famous philosopher. I'm like, fuck that philosopher. I'm reading fucking comics, man. I mean, it's got twice the magic. It's got the illustration and it's got the fucking words to go with it.
And what's nice is say you're into Batman comics. There's different versions of Batman comics out there, not just one kind. You got the Dark Knight version, you got the old Batman, the young Batman, you got the detective Batmans. You got so many different stories within the comics.
But let me say this. Here's the Mandela effect for comics for me. I don't know if you guys share this. The Mandela effect comics, the thing for comics is the Mandela effect for me was the universe concept. I was like, I don't understand. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever. Okay, so you had a series of comics, and then if it stopped, it stopped. But they had to keep going with Batman now becomes the whatever Darkwing, and they continued. They bounced off the old comics, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, now this is just me, and I could be wrong. In fact, put money on it, I'm wrong. All of a sudden, it was the universe. It was the universe concept. Where next thing you know, the spin-offs are going to this place. It was going to this place. In the universe of this person, they were like going into timelines, dimensions. Now, in this dimension, this character is like this. And now in this dimension, wait, whoa. When the fuck did all these dimensional fucking weird things happen? They're like dimensions of this, dimensions. I'm getting lost on the comics. And I just started getting back into them around 2015 or 16. I was jumping back into my comic book collection, trying to rebuild them, and I was like, I'm confused with the comics. I was confused. What's a universe? What's the universe of this? Now, I'm not saying it's a Mandela effect. It's for me, it's just something I didn't know about. I don't know if some of you guys like jump back into comics, an older person, go, wait, what's all these universe shit? Like this person is now spun off to this, spun off to this. This person's got a whole new uniform and spun off to this. What the fuck?
Hey, that's the beauty of it. Hey, I love our new friend that because he wrote in the comic, but Crow 2 sucked. You are so fucking right.
So the movie
Crow 1 was a masterpiece.
Yeah,
Crow 2, Crow 3, Crow 4 fucking sucked. It was an embarrassment. They should stop. So I like you because he's true. I love honesty.
The best. Crow,
right. Does anyone ever consider that we wake up into a new conscious every day? Only it's like being born. We just don't remember that we did. So like yesterday, I was you, and today I'm me. Dude, if you were me yesterday, I feel bad for you, dude. You don't want to be me. You don't want to be me. I know. I get what he's saying. Yeah, you don't want to be me.
I wake up. I have a new scar. I wake up as a new scar. I don't know where the scar came from. I've got scars. I'm covered in scars. I have no idea where they came from. I did not get these scars. I have scars that I've never seen before. My tattoos changed 3 times. I've got tattoo here that's changed. This one's changed. And this one's changed. The blood is on it now. I've got blood on this fucking. This thing has changed and continues to change. So if I can get above it, it's a heart, and it's got the crown around it, the thorns. It's changed. It's got blood drops. There was no blood drops. They're all bright red. The rose is all fucking getting red and redder. The dagger itself is now kind of a sword. Big old heart with a whatever. It's changed, completely changed. And then the one here on my chest, which was it's a jail tack. It's from a little fucking staple. You melt into a plastic fucking. People don't know what jail tacks are. You melt into a plastic little, and then you dip it with regular ink, and this changed. So when you talk about waking up with different things in your body, everyone has them. If you have the effect, sometimes you wake up. My nose changed. My cheekbones changed. Sometimes my beard changes. It's been a split. It's been a double split. I couldn't fucking get out. I use beard wax to keep it, and it just goes boop like a big split. Now it goes into like 4. Now it stays in the 4 splits, and I've got more gray in different spots. So check your bodies, people, and also check your writings. Check anything you wrote in the past, because what you wrote changed too. It might be talking to yourself from the past.
You know what I love? We went from talking about fart jokes, about how fart jokes are important, to Joan Jett dying and having a child in a movie being molested by a reverend, and an uncle sleeping or taking a bath with the kid, all the way to comic books.
Yes.
All the way to comic books. It's like God stimulously playing musical chairs with each other, each one of us. And like one day we realized that we were all of them.
All of them. Correct, my friend. Somebody nailed it. Yeah.
Enduring thoughts in a mad world. Budokan. That's a hell of a name, man. That's a hell of a name.
What's that? What does it say?
That's the name of his tag.
Oh.
Thoughts in a mad world. Budokan Fest. That's a hell of a name. Now, in my opinion, artists strive for change and idealism. Yeah.
Yeah. But in this place, they dried up. There's fucking nothing funny. Nothing funny. My favorite comics, man. My favorite. I love comics. I love going to see comics. I love live comics. I love comics, and they've dried the fuck up. I can tell the ones that caught the effect and the ones who don't. It dried up. Like, what happened to you? You're not funny no more. You're not funny. You look different, and you're not funny.
I remember you talking to Cynthia about your tattoo. You remember talking to you talking about your tattoo.
Your face gets all big. Like, what the hell? What is this big old brute guy? Oh, look at my tattoo. Look at this. Cynthia, take a look at this. God damn. You got a nice breasticles on you, too. People get mad I was thinking about asking about her breasts if they were real, they were naturals, but that would have been too far.
What do you write? Exactly. There's no way to confirm the past. So I don't know if Mandela a check affected me in such a way that the moment everything has been changed from the previous one. Now hold on a second. He wrote, "There's no way to confirm the past." But if technically if time travel is possible with your formula that you came up with, or Cynthia's theory about using your mind,
Yeah.
in a way, technically you can confirm the past if you're able to. If
Just
you're
remember-
able to time travel.
Just you got to remember, I've got an amnesia problem. I got memento brain, so I wake up pretty much fresh every fucking day. I get in fights with people that are always like, "Do you remember when we did this and this?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't remember that, but I'm sure we did." I have memory problems. I've had it fucking forever, but when I remember something, it's 100% because of those problems, because of those difficulties. I know 100%. So when I wake up and I remember something, it's always been that way for me. You can't talk me out of it. It's like it's always been that way for me. Again, I always joke about checkmating the queen. I played chess in the fucking Navy, and I checkmated the queen. And there's a large, and I'm going to stress this, a large percentage of people with the Mandela effect that remember checkmating the king. A large percentage. So don't feel bad. What you talking about? I've always checkmated the queen in a fucking chess game. That's my mind, and that's my memory, and I own it. But it doesn't mean it's yours. You got your own. People with a Harley Davidson. It's a Harley Davidson. I had a Harley Davidson with fucking pinstriping. I had custom pinstriping Harley Davidson. And that was Harley Davidson. Not for me.
What is this?
It
Monopoly has sick humor. It cheapifies life.
The Monopoly guy. The
Zion. Has a sick humor.
Yeah. Well, you know what that is. It's talking about how the Lord's Prayer. You got to forgive we forgive our trespassers. You forgive your I'm not Christian, but that's the way Grandpa said it. You forgive your trespassers, okay? But in this new fucking book, you forgive the debtors. You forgive your debtors. Forgive the debtors. So the monocle guy, the Monopoly guy, that's the code I got. So when I saw the Monopoly thing, oh, well, there's the debtor. There's the banker. You got to forgive the banker. Take off the monocle and he's a banker. The reason why he doesn't have it is because you got to forgive this person. This person's got a human face behind the monocle. And you got to forgive your debtors, because we're going to hit it to the point, guys. We're going to get to the point where all these fucking people all these banking systems, they're going to be held accountable for, and they're going to need to be forgiven. And you have to ask yourself that question. The New Bible says that Jesus wants heads on a tarp. I don't blame him for that. That's what I want. But you got to ask yourself that question. Is that what God wants?
Yeah.
So you're going to start eventually taking on that new fucking book and saying, well, forgive your debtors is what it's saying now. And really ask yourself that question if you're going to be able to do that.
It's the left and the so-called hero. It's the left and the so-called woke people sucking the life out of jokes and fun. Yeah?
Yes. Nailed it. Yes.
Yeah. Nailed it. Exactly. That was it. Why doesn't my girl's attitude change? Because there is Satan. It's called the partner. They're not always going to be on board with you.
Men are from Venus. Men are from Mars. Well, okay, outside of the Mandela effect, my friend, you're a man. She's a woman. Okay. Now, you are from Mars. She is from Venus. Where's Brian Staley? He's going to say, there's no such thing as a fucking stars up there. He's correct. Okay. But there is Mars and there is Venus. We're going to use that metaphor. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. You will never, ever understand her. My dad told me one thing. You will never win an argument against a woman. You yield and agree to disagree and then leave it alone. And if it works out from there with your differences, then it works out. But you're not going to win. If you push yourself on her like that, that means you're becoming a punk and you're becoming abusive. You back off. You say what you say. Let's agree to disagree, because you will never win an argument against
people. That American way is don't talk in front of them, talk behind their back. Make sure they're gone. Then you can let it out. That's the American way, people. We won't say bad things to you, but we'll do behind your back. That's the American way.
That's the American way.
He played chess for a long time. He never heard of the queen. Well, yeah, I remember it was the queen, because I always thought it was kind of cool that you don't checkmate the king. You know, the queen had the most power.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Again, here's an example. And you have the effect. You don't need me to tell you don't. You don't need anybody in the sidebar to tell you don't have the effect. You know you have it. Just because I remember fucking checkmating the queen doesn't mean anything less than you. Nothing at all. People are still arguing about the James Bond. James Bond had a pistol. He had the Walter PPK, Smith & Wesson. The Smith & Wesson Walter PPK. Now, people are talking about the Walter PPK, Smith & Wesson. Now, I'm in England. I'm running around fucking England. And these people are all screaming Smith & Weston. What? Smith & Weston. Weston with a T. With a T. Always a T. Smith & Weston. It's always been a T. They've always had a T. They're going to fucking argue till the cows come home. There's a fucking Smith & Weston. I said, there's never been a Smith & Weston. Smith & Wesson. I had fucking rifles. Smith & Wesson. There it is again. You agree to disagree because I know these people have the effect. They got it. But they remember the T. I don't remember the T. There's no T in America. Ask an American. The majority of Americans say, know what you're talking about, man. It's always been Smith & Wesson. It's always been Smith & Wesson. You can agree on everything but the fucking pistol. It doesn't mean anything. Still people here in England like with the effect that I trust are like, man, that's weird because it's Smith & Wesson, always with a T. I'm like, no, man. In the stores, there's evidence. There was evidence to show Weston with a T. I'm like, I don't understand because no. Oh, no. Smith & Wesson. Always been. Harley Davidson. Always been. Checkmate the Queen. Always been. And I have a brain problem. And so I know these things at 100% because of the things I do remember what I have. It's all I have. So don't feel bad about that, guys. Don't let that, don't get other people mad at them. They don't have the effect.
The only way to confirm the past is in the present. Yeah. Well, listen, if you confirm something in the present, that means you're doing your studying, you're researching, and you're trying to find evidence, so you should always try to confirm everything. You don't have to believe everything that somebody says. Like some people are disagreeing about the queen and stuff. That's good. That's fine. Do your, research is the key to everything. We learn that in college. It's kind of funny how people judge books by its cover, where some people make comments at us like, you two look like hillbillies who go back to the school. And what's sad about those people is we're both got college degrees.
With the college.
So if you're judging people by what you look like, then you're worthless. You're flat out worthless.
I let them think that. That's the best way to walk around.
The queen is the most powerful piece for sure, but we're talking about checkmating.
Yes, checkmate the queen. We checkmate the queen to win.
Today I saw Recall Victor made a video about Smith & Wesson. Oh yeah, see?
I didn't know that. Yeah. What does he remember then? Does he remember Weston?
Today I saw Recall Victor made a video. So some guy named Victor made a video about Smith & Wesson.
Smith & Weston. I bet you there was a Smith & Weston in England. I bet you. I'm skeptical about what I read on the internet. Here's my number one rule. If it's on the internet, it's most likely a lie. There is a lot of false stuff out there just deliberately to spin people in circles. So there's a lot of false shit in the internet. When I see all those black and white movies that are like 1930s and 1920s and 1910s, bullshit, fake. They're CGI fake. Everything out there is CGI fake. I watched the Queen of England do the fucking, we talked about this. The Queen of England did the Christmas fucking whatever address. It was CGI. For those of you who go back and watch the Queen's Christmas address, and behind her shoulder, there's a painting that is green. It's CGI. They forgot to put a picture in there. It's green. It's green screen green. They forgot to add a picture. The
past is the Matrix. You can almost do a whole show on the philosophy of Matrix. I mean, you can really do. That's like its own show because you can really get in deep with the Matrix.
Yeah, you can measure the Matrix though.
Yeah.
Just know your
cool. I don't doubt your memory or timeline. Thank you.
Yeah. Don't yourself.
Smith & Weston.
Oh, we have a Weston.
That's what Criminal wrote.
Subliminal. Okay, what's the Weston? Okay.
Voynich. Hope I'm saying Voynich right. Laugh out loud. Wow, that's a new one. Hey, that's what we're all here for, right? We're all here to hear something new, but not plan for it.
I think it's cool when people have the mixed memory because people that I know have the effect. I like it like that.
Well,
I like it when people listen to the Weston, and then there's the Westons, and then there's the Westerns.
well, this is the coolest part about maybe not disagreeing, but disagreeing or not sure. You get to go back and study it yourself. You get to go back and do research. What do we say? Research keeps the mind fresh and keeps it going.
It's information. It's just, I can't argue with people. I don't remember that. And then they get mad at the other person. Like, we're joking with Brian Stavely, and I know Patrick remembers the Babe Ruth doing the finger. I know Brian Stavely remembers him holding the bat. And there's a 50-50 on that, too. I remember him doing the finger, pointing out where he's going to shoot the fucking ball. But at the same time, I remember all the movies.
When you watch the video, it's the bat.
Watch the videos, they're holding the bat. And they're not going to hold the bat for no reason. They're going to hold the bat because they saw somebody do it. So it's just something that I didn't see. But a lot of people did. So it's nobody's wrong. It's like everybody's from a different universe. Literally, everybody's a cog in a fucking huge-ass watch. Big-ass watch. And everybody's from their own universe. My Own Private Idaho. Was that B-52 sung that? My Own Private Idaho? Was a gay movie made with
Keanu Reeves. Yep.
There we go. Keanu Reeves. Idaho.
Anybody have effect that Louis Anderson died years ago or Henry Winkler about 8 months ago?
Let me see. Henry Winkler. I saw him in a talk show. I don't know if he died. I don't.
He's alive. He's alive right now. He's alive.
Okay. I don't watch the news.
I saw them
anymore.
on the Golden Globes on the side there.
Louis Anderson died. Good question. Keep you guys in the sidebar. Anyone in the sidebar, answer that one if you remember.
Like I said, no, most people don't even agree. Not saying agree with me. Don't even realize that I said Joan Jett died in 1986. Some people said I never heard that before. Well, you heard it now.
David Bowie.
David Bowie died.
On the fucking
look at our thumbnail. Look who's our grave. Nelson Mandela and David Bowie's on graves, and of course us.
Yeah, I remember David Bowie dying because I was in the vehicle. Now, I don't know if Eric, I don't know if you remember that. You look like you might not remember that, but we were driving in the vehicle because you might not remember that all-day marathon they had on the mountain. That channel, remember it changed. All of a sudden, the mountain was gone. The channel just changed. They sold out to fucking R&B. But there was a David Bowie-a-thon, and they had all his songs. And they talked about how he owned himself, and he owned his own fucking rights to his own music. And they played all his music all day long. And I felt like shit because I was a big-ass David Bowie fan. So, and then all of a sudden, he died in 2016. What the fuck is this? I remember him dead, man. He was dead.
It's subjective, which is true. One person says Weston, question mark. One thing that was interesting I heard today was that there are no sports score changes as of yet.
Oh, isn't that interesting? That's good information, dude.
Yeah.
That's good information. Thank you for bringing that up. That's really good information.
Perfectamundo?
Perfectamundo.
The pause. Okay. It took me a little bit. The new joiner didn't exist a minute ago.
He probably just materialized into this place. He's a time traveler. Like John Teeter.
What do you think?
Oh dear. Do you know, I think I'm beginning to get the hang of this flying business.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Sorry, guys. I love toys.
I just looked at the clock. It was 1:33:44. Time in live, 1:33:44.
A lot of lessons on here. A lot of lessons. The Fonz still alive. Yeah. I saw him at the Golden Globes. Yeah, the Fonz is still alive. Bowie, for me, died February 2016.
Let's see. Is this really a died? I remember Lou Reed dying a while ago. There was a video they did with him. He died, I guess, 2013 for me, maybe-ish. A little bit earlier than 15. I can't be 100% on him. That's a hard one. But you got to ask yourself the question, what did they do? I didn't know David. Okay, so I went over. I was in Amsterdam. Okay, I was in Amsterdam, guys, and there was a cabal exhibit. And remember, I'm a museum nerd. I've worked in museums my whole life, anthropology, archaeology. I was in museums. So I was in Amsterdam. True story. And I'm down there. I'm going to look. I was going to buy weed. So I bought weed. It was horrible fucking weed in Amsterdam. Let me tell you right now, fucking horrible. There's a Mandela effect for you right there. Horrible weed in Amsterdam. But there was a cabal museum in Amsterdam. And on the front poster was David Bowie. And David Bowie was sitting on a cabal tree. It was the cabal tree. David Bowie was all painted up with chalk. It was sitting on a cabal tree. I've never seen that picture before. He was heavily into the cabal. I've never known David Bowie to be heavily into the cabal. Also, David Bowie now has one blue eye and one brown eye. In my timeline, David Bowie did not have two different colored eyes. He did not have a brown eye and a blue eye. I think he had two blue eyes. If I remember right, he had two blue eyes. Also, his history changed where he says his buddy punched him in the face and his eye color changed. Bullshit. So David Bowie has a whole new history. Not only did he not fucking die when he's supposed to have died, his history changed, and he is, in fact, heavily into the cabal. I've never known him to be in the cabal. A lot of these artists in this timeline have been subject to the cabal. It's like they knew this shit was going to happen. Tom Hanks himself, I've never known that man to be a Freemason. He's never had a picture one of him in a Freemason. Tom Hanks in this timeline is a fucking full-blown cocksucking Freemason. Now, I was myself, so I can't put him down too much. But he's a proud Freemason, keeping the agenda going the way he's supposed to do. So you got a lot of these people with different histories in this place, these agendists. So think about that. Now, again, he was in the museum, all about David Bowie and the cabal. What?
Well, here's one about Lou Reed. Lou Reed died in early 2015, where I'm from, 100%. In this reality, he died in 2013.
Okay, that's trippy.
I remember Lou Reed died. I remember he died, and I could have sworn it was more recent than 2013. I feel he died in 2015
Yeah, I can't even.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good research.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm out of that one. That's a good one. If you guys all agree, you agree.
Ask him where his silver leg is. Well,
we simulated the bunker.
There's no silver leg.
That's the lighting, man. Oh, here's a Star Wars one for you guys. Eric, you ready for this one? I think you might remember. You might not remember, though. Let's find out. Here we go, guys. Here's a Star Wars one for you guys. Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt. Big old Jabba the Hutt. That big-ass slug, Jabba the Hutt. Now, was Jabba the Hutt originally a human? Or was Eric probably remembers this one. Was Jabba the Hutt a human? Or was he always a slug? Was he ever a human?
Well, okay. Now, in Return of the Jedi, he was a slug. But in reality, originally, when they made A New Hope, they cut out a scene where Jabba the Hutt was a human. He wasn't a slug.
I remember that.
In Return of the Jedi, they made him to a slug. You could actually find the scene on YouTube. You can type it in, the original Jabba the Hutt, and it's a fat man with the weird costume. Because I know this is getting a little geeky here, but if you watch the remaster A New Hope, when Han Solo is walking with Jabba the Hutt to the ship, and when he walks behind them, in the true reality, he wasn't a slug. He walked right through him. But because they made him a slug, he walked on top of him, which looks stupid.
Yeah.
It didn't match. So you can type it in and find that scene on YouTube if it exists. I haven't done it in a long time. If it's still there.
Yeah. I wanted to say that because a lot of times things like this will pop up and people say, hey, did you know that Jabba the Hutt was actually human? And there was some footage on it. They're going to call it a Mandela effect. It's not a Mandela effect. No. There's a lot of movies that people keep saying, like Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. I love that movie. Eric, do you remember Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man?
Yeah, it had the guy from Miami Vice, Don Johnson. And Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke used to look like a human.
It's all over the web. It was a new Mandela effect about a movie that no one ever knew about. I said, bullshit, I watched that. I own that movie. I saw it at the movie theater. I love that movie. Fuck that. That's not a Mandela effect.
They had that weird drug, drug they were trying to do. Yeah. I can't remember what that drug was. Watch news of Winkler's death about 8 months ago, complete with partner sorrow towards the television and subsequently discussion. 2 months later was live on TV.
I believe it. I ain't gonna say you're lying, dude, because that's just the way it's been working. That's the way I saw David Bowie.
Jabba was never human for me. But there was a scene, there was an original scene where Jabba wasn't human.
But he wouldn't
it out of the movie because it didn't fit in with the movie, and he decided to change them all the way in Return of the Jedi.
Let me throw this out there. Make sure we throw a disclaimer. You would not know that unless you got the behind the scenes. You got to buy that behind the scenes movie made DVD. You would never know that. I'm only putting that out there before somebody calls it a Mandela effect. So if you didn't see the behind the scenes movie, now how many people out there buy behind the scenes make the movie? Just, we're nerds. We want to see how it was made. So we got the behind the scenes where they talked about it and they had a clip of the man before it was Jabba and talked about switching it over to Jabba. So don't take that personal. Just saying that before people call it a Mandela effect. They call a lot of things they never knew about Mandela effects.
Man, I'm positive C-3PO never had a lower silver leg and his stomach wires were all gold, but now it's all black and his palms turned black. I mean, we talked about that in the past. We did a video a long time ago talking about his leg, and people got to remember his leg. Technically, his leg was somewhat silver, but what it was is, remember when they filmed movies in the 70s, the camera that they used, the film was not digital. So, and they were filming C-3PO out in the desert. So everything molded into a gold color. So when George Lucas kept remastering his movies, redoing it, he cleaned it up where he made changes where the leg was more silver. So his leg was never really silver. It's just when he cleaned it, he visioned a silver, which I said George Lucas has the Mandela effect, and he was able and has the money to change it on his own to make it more silver.
And also all of the, we talked about this too, all of the characters in Star Wars, they make them rustic. So one arm's going to be lighter than the other. Like they're put together with missing parts, like rusty. Some parts have rust. Again, with the wires, that's a Mandela effect. The wires are a Mandela effect. But again, they keep changing it on purpose, literally to fuck with you. So you got to go buy the new toy. They put red arms on it, like red legs or whatever, to buy the new toy.
C-3PO itself is not a Mandela effect. George Lucas himself is a Mandela effect. I take that correction. So we made a whole video on George Lucas, people. That's like 4 videos ago.
Behind the scenes.
There are shit tons of Star Wars changes. Hey, Chiquita, watch 2 videos ago. It was titled George Lucas has the Mandela effect. Watch it. We went straight nerd into that, into what caused and what doctors told me about the Mandela effect because of George Lucas. So just watch that video. We don't need it. We don't need to rehash that.
George Lucas went into some sort of at this timeline. He woke up with an effect. We call it an effect. We don't know what it's going to be called. He had an effect. He did what they call like that ghost writing, where they do ghost writing, like a piece of him from somewhere else was possessed him. They said that in the story that he had done this whole fucking storyboard from his mind, like it was magical, like it was already there in his head, like it was already there. A lot of things that some of you guys do, that your other self might be doing it or have done it. So you're getting these magic powers off of your other self. Your other self. Now, I'm bad at math, but all of a sudden, this timeline, I can understand a lot of the physics. I'm laughing at the physics. I'm laughing at the physics. It's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on a lot of the bullshit physics here. But in the other timeline, it was different for me. But in this place, it's different. So my mind is different here. A part of you from another place could have a skill set that you don't have here, but now you're having here. Some of you guys need to start drawing pictures and see how good of a person you can draw now. You're good with a camera now. You could sing better. You could do things you didn't know you could do.
I'm going to show this.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you can see it.
Is it porno?
That's the scene in A New Hope. That right there is Jabba the Hutt. That is Jabba the Hutt, human, right there. And they recut that as a slug. See? People are saying they don't remember him as human. There it is. That's the video. That's the original Jabba the Hutt. He was human.
Yeah. That's behind the scenes footage, people. That's not the movie. Just we want to make sure that you guys see that, because we don't want somebody coming out there saying that's a Mandela effect. Bullshit. It's behind the scene footage.
Yes, George Lucas decided that the movie didn't need that scene.
And a lot of them,
so they cut it out. And you got to remember, when they did the remaster, that scene of Han Solo walking to the ship was an original scene. So
yeah.
So it really existed, and it just Return of the Jedi. He thought it'd be better if Jabba the Hutt was more of a ugly looking guy. So hopefully that helped you guys out, and hopefully Star Wars don't take down this channel, this show, because I did an illegal scene.
And every time they put a new DVD box set out, they included the deleted scenes. They switched some scenes. They included deleted scenes. So they're fucking everybody up. And we're like, I've never seen this. It wasn't like that. It's because they changed it. Fuckers keep doing it.
He personally had the Mandela effect, knew that this stuff got changed on him. He changed it back.
Changed it back.
The last video, the difference between him and us, he has money to make changes. We don't.
Yeah. That's why they will be careful with the Star Wars stuff. That stuff is debunked in my book. You can't ever, because there've been so many swap-ins and swap-outs. It's like, who knows on that one, But there are things we know 100% that are effects. So, stick with those. What else we got?
You were getting what we're saying. Okay, got it. Behind the scenes. I thought you were saying it was me. And technically, it wasn't behind the scene. It was a real scene that was going to be in the movie. They just cut it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't behind the scenes. It was actually a real scene. He decided to cut it because the movie didn't really need it.
Yeah, we do this so you guys could know that if somebody tomorrow starts screaming that this thing is out there on the web, they don't remember it. This is reason why, because it was cut out. Unless you get the behind the movie scenes, reproduction movie things, you wouldn't know about this. So be careful. Be getting suckered into these fucking people just saying Mandela effects now randomly. I talked about the hat, Harrison Ford's hat. My brother owned 3 of the hats. There were 3 hats used: one tall hat, one medium hat, and one grayish hat. He's always had a tall hat. But the thumbnails are different. The thumbnails have changed. But he's always had the tall hat because I've had the tall hat in my hand. This is too tall. What the fuck did he wear this tall ass hat? It was there. So be careful. People are screaming everything's a Mandela effect.
It was a cluster of wiring, and it was gold wiring in the stomach. In the original suit, it wasn't really wiring. It was just, 1977. They didn't really have the stuff they had now to really make suits look the way they do. Now, Nikita says, oh man, my favorite is Red Letter Media review of the first 3 Star Wars episodes. Red Letter Media. I know that channel. They are a fun kind of a channel. They tell you how it is, but sometimes the problem I have with Red Letter Media, they only like the original 3. They don't like anything after. So when they do a review, they kind of already hated it before they hated it.
Yeah.
And a lot of channels are like that. People already decide they hate it. Even if they like it on the inside, they can't admit it, so they hate it.
Yeah, I liked them all.
You and I, when people hated the prequels, you and I enjoyed them for what they were.
I liked them. I mean, I liked the first 3 the most, but the other 3, at least I got to watch Star Wars. At least they didn't stop. I mean, I don't care. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it's better than nothing at all. I mean,
exactly.
I can put my feet up and just watch.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't even know how we even got on this subject, But if you guys want to go into channels and really want to see hate and fights, Go to a Star Wars channel and say
God.
the last movie or something.
Angry.
Everybody like attacks you, and it's like Disney hates this. Disney sucks. And I was like, people, George Lucas sold to Disney because he got so fucked up and banged up by the fans for hating the prequels so fucking bad. He sold it. If it wasn't for Disney, I'm not saying they're making the best movies, but we would have got nothing at all anyway. If it takes a few bad movies to get to a great one, at least we're going to get one. So stop blaming Disney, people. Listen, Disney's not paying us shit. I'm not sticking up Disney that way, but Disney's not the issue. It was the people who bashed George Lucas was the issue.
I know what the problem with Disney is. The problem is ever since we had a Mandela effect and that little fairy that danced around the tower, like there's the castle. It's the castle. And that little fairy danced around the castle and she went ding. And she's like, hi, like all sexy ass, but a little ass sexy ass little green outfit on.
Is there a name that fairy has?
What's that? That little fairy, she dances around, she flies around the castle, and she stops in front of it, and she goes, ding.
Yeah, I remember there was a change.
Yeah, and then it's gone now. I guess she's never
have an actual name in those cartoons.
Yeah. Well, she was in a movie. They
made a couple cartoons about that character, but
with Jiminy Cricket. I don't even see Jiminy Cricket anymore. Is he fucking gone now? But no, she was with Peter Pan.
Yeah, it was Peter Pan. Does she have an actual name? I can't remember.
I can't remember her name. The little.
Just call her Fairy, but what's
Fairy? The little fairy. She was with Peter Pan.
Somebody's. Here it is. Mr. Pinklet is hilarious reviewing episode. Oh, I'm trying to see if somebody Tinkerbell. I couldn't even remember. Disney bought out Marvel Comics.
What?
Well, Disney owns Marvel.
Whoa!
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now, it's very strange. This is kind of a complicated, kind of not complicated, but it's very nerdy type of deal. Disney actually owns Marvel, but some of his characters are owned by different studios because when Marvel went bankrupt, they had to sell to stay afloat. So like Spider-Man is technically owned by Sony. Sony owns Spider-Man. Universal Pictures actually owns the Hulk and stuff. So so if Sony doesn't make a Spider-Man movie in a certain amount of years, then the rights go back to Disney. So it's kind of a weird deal like this Hulk. Disney cannot make a Hulk movie on its own. They're not allowed to, but they could put Hulk in a movie, but he can't be the main character. Only Universal Pictures can use Hulk as the main character. Mm-hmm. So where are these rights? So Disney technically owns them, but they don't own full rights to every single movie.
Ocean Girl says Marvel is my favorite character. That's that girl. Captain
Marvel's a girl, but Captain Marvel was not a girl in the beginning.
Man,
I want you guys to tell me who was Captain Marvel originally. Does anybody out there know who? Any comic book nerd should know this. Who was Captain Marvel originally? Somebody answer that question.
I don't know the answer. I think she's a hot lesbian. I like it like that.
Captain Marvel came later. Captain Marvel, okay, I'll give a hint. Captain Marvel was in the DC. Not Marvel, it was DC. Who was the original Captain Marvel?
Oh,
come on,
shit.
I know Criminal has to know this.
Shit. We're getting down to it.
Who Captain Marvel really was.
Don't ruin my fantasies, man. I always think of Captain Marvel like making out with Wonder Woman in like some cool ass scenes. Don't put a face on her, man.
It's common knowledge. I'm shocked that nobody is typing in who was Captain Marvel. Are you guys ready?
Ruin my lesbian fantasy.
Originally Captain Marvel?
Shazam?
Shazam was the original Captain Marvel. If you go in the comics, Shazam was called Captain Marvel. And then I can't remember the story when Marvel one of the DC
when he was young.
Marvel. So DC let them let them keep the name Captain Marvel for their character, girl character, but Captain Marvel was always originally Shazam.
When he's older, right? Because he was young as Shazam.
Shazam was just the words of the gods.
Yeah.
Shazam, it turned him into Captain Marvel. There's a whole story on why the name went back. So Shazam, that's why the character in the movie, his name is not Shazam. Shazam is the definition of the gods. I'm not gonna say that Hercules. So the word Shazam is just a power to turn him into Captain Marvel.
So he's a demigod. So there's gods. Okay, okay. It's like the Bible now. We got gods now. We got so we got gods.
When young people say that's Shazam, no. Shazam is just a word to turn him into a superhero. His original name was Captain Marvel.
Oh my God. So what if Captain Marvel, the chick, is actually that dude, but now a tranny? Think so?
You never know.
Maybe we don't know that, but it was originally a dude that had that went through a transition, and now Captain Marvel is a tranny in this timeline.
And I thought somewhere in the movie they were gonna make a joke out of it. They didn't, but I thought they were gonna make a joke out of it. But you know what? Hey, we've been on for about 2 hours. I know with StreamYard, I'm getting closer to the end of my free 20 hours. So I want to save my hours to do a show next week. I did really like Aquaman. I love Aquaman too, because Aquaman was
with the yellow outfit.
But so we're gonna end this show. But I love this show today because we went everywhere. I never would have thought we would have talked Star Wars, kept comic books,
and now we know Captain Marvel's a man, not a woman. I thought it was a woman. Now I feel gross. I like the thought of her being lesbian, but now it's just a guy.
There was a Marvel's version of Captain Marvel in the late 60s to the 70s. The title stopped for many years. Then Marvel brought Captain Marvel back in the late 80s as a woman.
She's actually hanging, man. I
knew he would know. I knew he would know. So
she's got tackle. She's got like a fishing rod and tackle, man.
I want to thank everybody for jumping on. I hope everybody had a good time, and we'll be back on our normal Tuesday. So hopefully tell your friends, tell everybody to join. And if you ever want to support the channel, if anybody ever want to support the channel, in the description, there's we have Patreon accounts. We have all that to keep the channel going, to have fun. And go ahead and support it. But by then, we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Laters.